following contains a lot of math, and all my equations were wrong, so it's not even correct math. Please ignore all math until the end of the presentation, and then stay tuned afterwards for a full-on correction from me from space. We appreciate your understanding in this difficult time. Math is hard. Galaxy, cosmos, the universe, the infinite. These are words that can cause fear and boners. For some, the thought of an ever-expanding megacosm of dark matter and galaxies triggers astrophobia, megalophobia. Fuck, just toss thalassophobia on there for shits and gigs. Because when you evolve from being a snack, you remember what neighborhoods to avoid. Survival is trauma. And for others, the idea of something bigger than your brain can even perceive, a never-ending dance of chaos and order, is kind of fucking hot. Either way, whence talking about such things, the reactions won't be mild. So whether you use seatbelts or handcuffs, strap in, humans, because we're going to space! More specifically, 13.5 billion miles away. Okay, you know how it's like gonna be warm someday, Chicago? And you're gonna wanna go to Milwaukee for the day? Because it's the official party at your best friend's house while they're away of Chicago? Regardless, if you take the Metra or ride the 94 West like a Spartan warrior in an Acura, that's about 92.4 miles one way, about an hour and a half on the highway if you drive like you're from the city. It would take you about 24,091 years to get where we're going. And I don't know if you've seen the price of gas lately, but maybe you just go to Olive Garden if you want to get away. At least they're your family. April 7th, 2022. Astronomers found at the end of our little mathematical road trip, which, by the way, took me 3 hours to figure out. So if I'm wrong, fine. There's a galaxy they found, they named HD1. Now, this is no big thing. We find galaxies all the time, like bobby pins or pens that don't work. What is, in fact, a thing about HD1 is that it existed only 330 million years after the Big Bang. How did they know that? Better math. And it's giving off a lot of ultraviolet light, like it's getting chewed out by its parents for not giving a shit about the power bill. Astronomers know that that's way too bright for a galaxy from back in the day, because that would mean it's creating 100 stars a year. Quote, at least 10 times higher than what we expect for those galaxies, says Dr. Fabio Picucci, co-author of the study. So this galaxy is totally blasting a full-on EDM show a couple 100-mile trips to Milwaukee away, and that's fucking sus. Because if you thought the Fyre Fest didn't have their shit together, no way a galaxy from back at the beginning of the universe could be pulling this off. Stars today are made from recycled material in the universe, which just means they have some heavy material in them, but nothing like back in the day, which is why some classic bands just stopped touring. Give them a break, okay? So, astronomers figure the reason this particular galaxy pounding Schlitz with the bass too loud is going down is because it's making population 3 stars, which are stars that are made from hydrogen, helium, lithium, and beryllium. And those high-octane gas-snacking hogs were made back in the early days of the universe when Tim Allen was funny. They didn't give a fuck about Teslas. These fucking old dogs are as vintage as Betamax, and like those old mini-snackable mini-tapes, they're made for some classic stuff. They were hot for a bit, and they faded away. R.I.P., never forget. Problem with all this theorizing is that population 3 stars are hypothetical. And since they went ham in their first millennia, there's no direct evidence that they even exist. The only way to know for sure is if the most recent discovery by the Hubble Space Telescope, oh yeah, she's still in the news, baby. She's the Meryl Streep of interstellar observation. And it discovered something on March 30th when Arendelle, which is the farthest star ever seen, was spotted. That's WHL 0137-LS if you're nasty. So they're looking to see if that star is made up of hydrogen and helium, and if it is, well, that's all gravy, baby. But the other explanation, because there's always another explanation in the world of space, because, like, shit's so fucking big and so many Milwaukees away that all you can do is guess and prove it, like a never-ending cosmic wordle. So the only other answer they got is that it's everyone's favorite reoccurring role in the galactic Hulu show that is the universe, a supermassive black hole. Those fuckers are so big and bad, they're the T-Rex of space nerddom. And like that mighty maybe chicken, they're at the heart of everything. See, smart people think now that at the heart of most galaxies is a black hole. So get out your eyeliner, Firuza Balk. Turns out you emo kids were right all along. Things that big need time and stuff to eat. So how these black holes were able to find enough anything to get that big in the earliest moments of the universe is a big mystery. Kind of like when you're on a road trip and Tiffany's never hungry. It's not because you're fine, Tiffany. It's because you're hiding fucking snacks. Pony up. We're starving. We've been driving for 1,000,000 fucking years. But back in 2017... scientists started finding these black holes way out the beginning part of the universe. And the only material they were snacking on were these flaming hot Cheetos of interstellar dust, because it is so bright around the edge that those galaxies they were in can still be seen today, all this time later, because space is a Lovecraftian nightmare of insane concepts. Makes sense if it freaks you out or makes you want to get your freak on. Quote, forming a new 100 million years after the Big Bang, a black hole in HD1 must have grown out of a massive seed at an unprecedented rate, explains co-author of the study, Avi Loeb, and it is the high-energy protons from that mystical, spacical feeding frenzy that must be lighting up HD1 like your friend's iPhone flashlight that's always going off during movies. How is it brighter there and not when you need it? What are you doing, Tiffany, and can you control it? Now, in order to figure all this out, the internet, they did figure it out. Don't at me. Just Google it. It's okay. It's fine. The whole team spent 1,200 hours, or 800 trips to Milwaukee, if you're craving AJ Bombers right now, observing HD1. And the next step is to use the new fucking hotness in the stellarverse, the James Webb Telescope, to verify the distance and figure out what makes it so hot. Because no matter what the fuck is going on down here on our rock, space will always be up there, causing nipple stiffies and panic attacks. And it has. Your entire evolution and mine, humans, because of course it has. We're all stuck down here together, and after the 2 years, it was like living in a college dorm room. It's no fucking surprise you want to get up, get out, and get on the road. And sometimes that's just staring up at the night, making sense of what's up there so you can take a break from all that's going down here. It's just survival. So, whenever life gets you down with a frown, and things seem hard or tough, and people are stupid, obnoxious, or daft, and you feel like you've had quite enough, just remember that you're standing on a planet that's evolving, revolving at 900 miles an hour. It's orbiting at 19 miles a second, so it's reckoned. The sun that is the source of all our power. Now the sun and you and me and all the stars that we can see are moving at 1,000,000 miles a day. In the outer spiral arm at 40,000 miles an hour of a galaxy we call the Milky Way. Bill Larkin!
Our galaxy itself contains 100 billion stars. It's 100,000 light years side to side.
Google it!
It bulges in the middle, 16,000 light years thick, but by us it's just 3,000 light years wide.
It's a lot of math.
We're 30,000 light years from galactic central point. We go round every 200 million years. And our galaxy itself is one of millions of billions in this amazing and expanding universe.
Our universe itself keeps on expanding and expanding in all of the directions it can whiz. as fast as it can go, which is the speed of light, 12 million miles a minute, and that's the fastest speed there is. So remember when you're feeling very small and insecure, how amazingly unlikely is your birth. And pray that there's intelligent life somewhere out in space, 'cause there's fuck all down here on Earth.
Hope you dug this week's story and facts. Toss a coin to your witcher, why don't you? Link is below. I'm currently in space in an effort to correct my most egregious mathematical errors, so here we go, because I've been figuring this out for many Milwaukees now, and with some help, I think we got it. Okay, so, my math in the previous was mostly correct. If the galaxy HD1 was 13.5 billion miles away, but it's not, because space is a cosmic nightmare. It's actually 13.5 billion light years away, which makes my previous estimate that it would take 24,000 years to get there stupid and literally astronomically incorrect. Not that that matters, because you're never going to get there in an Acura. A light year is not a measure of time, it's distance. And there's 5,878,625,370,000 miles in one light year. Light travels 670,616,629 miles per hour. So, times 60 minutes, because we're dealing in minutes, because we're going to convert to Milwaukee's, which is 92 miles in 90 minutes. So, light travels 40,236,997,740 miles per minute. So that means it'll take our light speed Acura 200 sextillion minutes to go one fucking light year, which means it's going to take 3 decillion divided by 90, because there's 90 minutes in a Milwaukee, which means it'll actually take 30 nonillion Milwaukees to get to HD1. So yeah, I was way fucking off and probably still am, because there's no way that Acura's going 70 that whole time. Plus gas, plus snacks. So in summation, it's a fucking long drive to HD1. Let's just go to Milwaukee.
Thank you, Milwaukee. Good night.